Hello everyone, my name is Alexey, and in this video I want to tell you about 4 must-know array methods in JavaScript that almost nobody knows, but they are cool and extremely useful. Yes, in our daily development we use map, forEach, reduce, sort, and maybe combination of these methods, but there are other, relatively new and not entirely known methods. I want to show you these methods and unleash their power for your daily tasks. I'm sure after getting acquainted with these array methods, you will write more neat code and specific tasks will become simpler for you. Please like and let's get started. Amazing, and now we can see array of cars with make and production year, and I will use this array to show you different array methods. Let's consider one of my favorite new array methods, and it will be method with. So, method with allows us to replace a specific element in our array by index with another element. Interesting thing is that method with returns to us new array without change of original array. Let me show you. Const test equals 2. And for example, I want to replace Porsche with number 42. Porsche has index 2, so Rolls-Royce 0, Aston Martin 1, and Porsche 2. I have to write cars with, I have to provide index of Porsche, so it will be 2. And here I have to provide value, it will be 42, yes. And let me log test array. Yes, we've changed our Porsche with 42, we replaced it. And interesting thing is that if I will log our original array cars, it hasn't changed, we still have Porsche here. Yes, so you have to consider with if you want to replace a specific element in your array and save immutability in your code. Another cool feature that with method supports negative indices. For example, I want to replace a second element from the end. It will be Subaru, so it will have index -2. Yes. And I've replaced Subaru. If I want to replace last element of the array, I have to provide -1, and I will replace Ford. Yes, and if I want to replace, for example, first element, I will provide here 0. I will replace Rolls-Royce. It's how you can use with to replace elements in your arrays. Secondly, I want to show you methods that I truly love. It's array add method. Add method, it's just new way to access elements from your array by index, but in more neat way. Let me show you. For example, const element equals 2 cars add 0. Let me write console.log element. We will have Rolls-Royce because Rolls-Royce has index 0. We can access our Aston Martin by first index. Index 1, we will have Aston Martin. You may ask me, okay, Alexey, but we can do the same with square brackets notation. Yes, but not exactly. Because we can access, for example, our first element, our second element. But how to use negative indices here? We can't do it. If we will try to use -1 in square bracket notation, we'll have undefined, but it's common task in Frontend when you need to get last element from the array. And add method allows you to do it in more neat way. You just need to write cars add -1, and you will have last element from your array. For example, I want to get Subaru because Subaru it's a second element from the end of my array. I can write just -2 and I will get my Subaru. It's just a more powerful way to access elements by index. Just use it. Another cool method is fill. Fill allows us to replace elements in our array with a specific value. Let me show you. Const test, yes. For example, I want to replace all my cars with zeros. So cars fill 0. Let me log my test array. And yes, all my cars have been replaced with zeros. Interesting thing, I have to admit that fill also changes the original array. If I will log my cars array, I will have zeros, so you have to remember it to omit bugs in your application. I also can provide here as a second parameter start index. For example, I want to replace all elements in my array with zeros from index 2. Let me pass 2, and yes, I will have in my console, Aston Martin, Rolls-Royce, and then zeros instead of Porsche, Subaru, and Ford. Another cool feature that I can provide here, stop index. For example, I want to replace all elements in my array with zeros from 2 index to 4 index. Let me provide here 4, and I will have Rolls-Royce, Aston Martin, then I will have 2 zeros instead of Porsche and Subaru, and then I will have Ford. Interesting thing is that fill method is extremely useful when you have to create predefined array. For example, you are creating games or like complex tables in your application, and you can just write new array. I want to create new array which will contain 42 elements. And I want to fill it with, for example, number 42, yes? I will have an array with 42 numbers, and it will be 42 elements, yes? You can provide there also an array, an object, etc. Just cool method to replace elements and just to create arrays with predefined values. And the last but extremely useful new method that I will definitely use is group by. I have to say that object and map new method, but it was added for using with arrays and grouping array of elements using callback function. Let me show you. And for example, we want to group our cars by year. So let me create new variable test. I have to write object dot group by. As first parameter, I have to pass my cars array. Then I have to pass function. And for each iteration, I will have car, and I want to group our cars by year, so car.year. Yes, and let me log my test object. As we can see in our console, we received an object, and we have as our keys years, and as our values arrays of elements which are related to this key, for example, year. Also, we can group our array by make, car make. We will have as our keys makes of our cars, Aston Martin, Ford, Porsche, Rolls-Royce, and Subaru. And for example, I want to add additional Rolls-Royce with year of production 2021. And I will have 2 elements related to Rolls-Royce key. So let me remove this Rolls-Royce. And also, it could be met conditions, something like if we want to split elements into groups, even index or index element has in the array. So I have to extract index. Then I have to write if index is even. So something like this, equals to 0. I will have key even. And if no, I will have key odd. And as we can see in our console, we have 2 keys, even and odd. And for even key, we have Rolls-Royce, Porsche, and Ford, because we have 0 index, index 2, and index 4. And for odd, we have Aston Martin and Subaru, which have index 1 and index 3 respectively. This method, it was also added to map, and dependent on situation you can consider using it. For example, if you are not going to pass this object to request and create JSON, you can use map and make your code more efficient. So for example, we will return to our sorting by car year. Let's remove our index, and instead of object I will write here map, and I will receive new map instead of object. So I will have key 2023, and value it will be elements related to my condition. Yes. Moreover, you can review dependencies of your project and remove libraries like Lodash and use native group by instead of group by provided by external library, but please consider browser support. Okay, in this video we look at 4 cool methods for working with arrays. I really hope this video was useful to you and you at least updated your knowledge or at most learned something new. Suggest more options about what methods or what JavaScript objects I need to record a video. Please like, subscribe, stay tuned, please check the description and follow my Telegram channel. Bye!